Arise.
After reading the solo leveling manhwa, I became obsessed with necromancy manhwas. Let's be honest though, necromancy isn't just OP, it's really freaking cool. I mean, this scene alone is enough to make anyone love necromancy. So I began reading every single necromancer manhwa I could find. Still, I won't say I've read every single necromancer manhwa out there, but I have read quite a few. And this particular one is pretty different. When I started reading this necromancy manhwa, I was really hyped wondering what the MC's first summon would be. What kind of monsters would he summon? Would he have a dragon as an undead? You know, stuff like that. So I started reading 10 chapters, 20, 30, and even after more than 40 chapters, this dude never actually used necromancy how we all want him to. Forget summoning a dragon, he never even summoned a goblin as an undead. But to be fair, it's not like there's no necromancy in this manhwa, there is, but not in the way you'd expect. Let me explain. So one day there's a random dungeon break that leads to a lot of people dying, including our MC's parents. After their death, our MC, Sung Yoon, vows, while crying tears of blood, mind you, to become a hunter and destroy every monsters. Fast forward 7 years though, and the guy is getting kicked out of the hunter training hall. Here's the deal. Usually when someone awakens, they train for a few months to increase their stats, take the hunter exam, and then debut as a hunter. But even after 7 years of training, Sung Yoon's stats never increased. Not even a little. And he's labeled as trash, actually worse than trash, because he can't pass the hunter's exam, and that's why he gets kicked out. But he begs the director for one more chance to take the exam, only to get decked by the guy. Left wallowing in despair, Sung Yoon wishes he had even a shred of talent, and that's when the almighty system shows up, telling him the Tower of Trials praises him for his iron will. Next thing you know, he's transported to the first floor of the tower. The system then tells him to pick a difficulty, and Sung Yoon, being the mad lad he is, picks the hard difficulty. After barely surviving the first floor trial, he also gets a unique trait: necromancy. Now, here's the thing. Sung Yoon's necromancy is... how do I put this? It's necromancy, but not really necromancy. Let me explain. Sure, whenever he kills a monster or even a human, he can absorb their spirit. This increases his stats and proficiencies with the necromancy trait, and that's it. At least, for now anyways. Since his necromancy is at F rank, that's the best it can do, but as the rank increases, as he absorbs more souls, so does he gains more abilities. I won't spoil what exactly those abilities are, but let's just say he's not summoning an undead army anytime soon. Okay, fine, he does get the ability to summon skeletons later on, but he uses it like twice, maybe, and then he abandons it for other skills. But honestly, this doesn't make the manhwa any less interesting. In fact, I'll be real with you, this manhwa is great, but I feel like instead of calling his trait necromancy, they should have named it predator or gluttony. I mean, it would make more sense, right? And calling it necromancy when it doesn't let him do any of the badass stuff we associate with necromancers feels like a scam. But again, that doesn't mean the manhwa is bad. If you love tower climbing manhwas and stories with leveling up systems, you'll really like this one. Just don't go into it expecting cool necromancy skills like corpse explosion or soul flame, because if you do, you'll be quite disappointed. What I do love though is how the story balances Sung Yoon's progression. Yeah, he starts getting OP over time, but he faces just as many challenges. The trials in the tower don't get easier. In fact, the difficulty keeps increasing, especially since he picked the hard difficulty. Sometimes you'll think this trial's gonna be a piece of cake, and then boom, something happens that triples the difficulty. Other times you'll keep wondering how he'll even survive. And then there are those trials that just feels like child's play for him. The pacing is normal, not too fast, not too slow, and the art, character designs, and fight scenes are fantastic. To sum it up, Boundless Necromancer is a great manhwa. The only gripe I have is how misleading the necromancy trait is, but hey, what's done is done. So, will you be reading it? If you've already read it, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you have recommendations for more necromancy manhwas, drop them below. Like I said, I haven't read them all, so I'd love your suggestions. Peace!